Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to go back to my roots and I'm going to do a tutorial for you. So I am in a couple new swaps on this really cool website. It's called SwapBot. Anyway, I'm fairly new, and one of the swaps that I'm doing is a loaded pocket or a loaded tag bag, you know, something like that. And I realized I don't have any tutorials on my channel for how I actually create them. I have a couple videos of like them being done, but I don't actually have any tutorials on how to do it. And I realized after I started this video that today is probably not the best day because my hands are still dyed from when I was coffee dyeing a bunch of paper. So please excuse my very, very dyed fingers. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is a 110-pound cardstock. You can use whatever cardstock you want. I choose this for my basis of my loaded pockets just because it's a lot heavier. It's going to withstand all of the stuff that you put into your pockets. Now you can make these as big or as small as you'd like. You can make them very tiny and you can make like a little mini pocket. I normally start with the traditional 8.5 by 11 sized cardstock. I'm going to make a couple of them just to kind of like show you guys how to do them. We're going to go ahead and make 3, and I'm going to do this as kind of like an assembly line. That way I will have my basis pocket for any kind of future swaps that I might have in the future. So let's go ahead and start with 1. First of all, you need to decide how big you want this. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller than it currently is. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm not measuring this at all. This is very simply put, you can make these however you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold up just a little bit. This particular paper is not the best at folding because it is so heavy, but don't you mind any of those wrinkles because we're just going to cover them all up. So I'm going to grab my bone folder here. I'm going to push this down. I don't need my pencil right now. I'm going to push this down. And I'm just going to grab some scrap paper that I have over here. I just have like this stack of paper over here. And it's all just scrap stuff. So I have some embellishments in here that I've made. That might actually go really well with this loaded pocket, so I'm going to take those out. With some extra cards that I've made in the past, we're going to put those back in there because we're not going to use those. If any time you have like free time and you make some of these embellishments like this, like these are double-sided, so I may not use them on the pocket. I just realized that. Well, some of them are. Not all of them are. But this is something you can use with your embellishments that you're making. So we're just going to set those aside. Basically, I was just trying to get to my stack of paper over here. Got some extra cards, which I don't really need those. But now I'm getting to my paper. So I've got some papers here. These are journaling cards. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to need any of those. And this is kind of a very on the whim video. This was not planned. This was a, hey, do you have a video that that shows the tutorial on how to do this? And I was looking and I don't have one, so I'm making one. And here's some really pretty postcards that I can use, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that aside. Some printed paper, might use that. This is some coffee dyed parchment paper. I don't really need that. And here's some school paper. I'm not going to use this because her kids are older and they're not really in school. I think she has 1 or 2 in school, but she's got older kids basically. So I'm not going to use that. Here's some colored cardstock. Might be able to use some of that, so I'm going to keep that aside. There's a gray one, green one. But just to give you an idea, this is like one of my favorite projects only because of the simplicity of it. And then here's the rest of my stack of stuff. Got some old like happy planner templates that for whatever reason I didn't use. Some tags. These are some printouts that I did This is from Genevieve's Designs. I don't know that I'm going to use these necessarily, so I'm just going to set those aside. These are just some more printouts. Again, I'm not necessarily going to use those, but those are cool. I might use that. That's kind of neat. Also, too, you don't have to use scraps. You can use just regular scrapbook paper. I'm just using this because it's here. But I might actually grab some paper. So let me do that real quick. And hopefully I don't move my camera. And I'm going to. I'm just going to move you down just a smidge. Then I'm going to pop you right back up. There we go. All right. So I have some graphic 45. Some Tim Holtz. I think I might use the Tim Holtz. I like that paper a lot. Like I said, this was a very on the whim video and I just hit the camera. My apologies. Wasn't expecting to, I didn't plan this, so just bear with me. I think I'll just use the Tim Holtz. It's there, it's easy. Oh, I hit the camera again. So, put that in there. All right, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to move all this other stuff out the way because we're not using that right this second. And hopefully it's all out of view now. And it is. Okay, so what we're going to do is, look at that. That's pretty. Okay, so we're just going to pick a piece of paper that we like. This is going to be, ooh, I like that. This is going to be in the foreground, the background, and we're just going to decorate it and make it pretty. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a couple pieces of paper, and this is a 8x8 paper pad. So you can use the 8x8s. Again, you can make these as small as you want. You can use the 6x6, the 4x7. I think you can even probably use the 3x4s if you really wanted to. Let's see. Oh, I like that one. I'll go back on that one. Alright, so let's grab these. Keep the paper handy because you might need it. So we're going to unfold this. We're going to not measure this. We are just going to line this up directly with the bottom. We're going to mark it here and here. Then we're going to cut it here on our mark. Get set, go. Sorry, couldn't help it. All right. Now we're going to take that same piece of paper and we're going to, how did it, I know I just cut this, right? Oh, I need to cut about another, actually it doesn't really matter because we're going to cover it up. So I just cut a chunk off. I didn't think about that at first. So we're just going to cut a chunk off. We're going to line it up so there's a border on the top and the two sides. Now it doesn't matter because we're folding this up just like so. So it's going to be covered. Whenever you make a pocket, you want to make sure that you secure it with not tape, because anything you put in the pocket is going to stick to that tape. So either do staples or wet glue. I prefer wet glue. Anything else you can use tape for. So this, I'm going to use tape. You can also use a glue stick if you have a glue stick that you really like. I recently bought the Oohoo glue stick, and I've been using that a lot. For pocket letters though, I do prefer my ATG gun just because it is pretty secure and your stuff's not gonna like come apart or anything like that. So you just line it up like so, or you know, you can make it crooked like I did, but that's okay. We will make another one. So there's one. Make another one. And none of them are going to be the same either, unless you do measurements. If you do measurements, they'll pretty much be the same, but if you don't, then they will. So which one did I want on this one? Yeah, we'll do the back on this one. So again, you just cut enough off of it that it's not going to overhang the bottom, but you keep enough that you're going to see it here. Okay, so we're just going to cut this in half-ish. Okay, and put this one here like so. And just to show you guys, you can use a glue stick. If you do use a glue stick, make sure you get all the way to the edges and all the way in the middle. If you use a glue stick, don't use super thin papers, because the glue stick's still a type of wet glue and it might warp your paper. Might. I'm not entirely sure. At least not with this particular glue stick. I just got it. Okay, so there's that. And then the last one is same thing. We're gonna make a pocket. And you can, the glory of these things is you can make however many pockets you want. So we're gonna use the same one here. Oh, I like that better. We're gonna just flip it over. We're gonna use this side. Okay. Thunk. We're going to line it up to give ourselves a good border on each side. Okay, and there we go. We have the basis of 3 different pocket letters. And they're all kind of different sizes, as you can see. So, back to the first one. We want something to go here, okay? So I am going to measure this a little bit. And I want this guy to go right here. So I'm gonna line this up right here. And I want a little bit of a border on this side too, so I'm gonna mark it down just a little bit. There and there. And I'm just gonna cut straight across that line. Okay. Make sure you guys can see me. Okay. There's one, and that was at 3 inches. Just in case you were wondering. We're gonna put that right there. And notice I haven't glued my pocket down yet. There's a method to my madness. Because if you do any kind of inking on your paper, you want to do that before you do any kind of gluing of the pocket. Because I can assure you, inking the edges will be significantly easier if your pocket's not glued down. Okay, put that there. Voila. Now we're going to flip it over and we're going to put a something on the back. Okay, I do want the birds on the back. So I'll do this just like so. Then I'm going to measure-ish. I'm going to put a line here and a line here, and I'm going to cut that line. Okay. And then we're going to put this on the back, like so. Okay, with this particular paper, I think it is a good idea just to ink the edges, just because it's more of an older vintagey style paper. So I will go ahead and do that after I glue this down. Okay. Also, something with using the wet glue on the paper is you have a little bit of wiggle room with the adjustment of the paper. So if it doesn't line up where you want it, you can move it. Okay, so there's that, and there's that. So you could, if you wanted to, you could leave this exactly like this, okay? and then glue here and make your pocket. Okay, we're going to continue on, and we're going to make the other ones. So here's one. I'm going to need more of the matte paper. I like this because there's some journaling aspect to it, so that's kind of cool. All right, well, I can see where to mark this, but I'm going to go ahead and mark it just for, you know, video's sake. But it's going to be right in between these two lines right here. So I'm going to line this up with my trimmer. And we're going to go right in between those two lines. Go down, hold that, and glue that. Okay. Then, once all of your pockets are done, you will be able to load up your pocket with all of your goodies that you would like to send your swap partner. Okay, so there's one. I will need an extra piece of paper, or actually a few extras. Let me go ahead and pull a couple out. That's really pretty. I like that back piece. I like the front too. I like olive Tim Holtz paper. I'm not sure that I've found any that I don't particularly like. Hey, this will be cool. I think I have an idea for that. That's really neat. Grab a couple more, and we'll just do that for now. All right, so now I have the back piece here. I'm gonna cut the bottom of this one off instead of the top, because I want that top piece. So we're gonna line this up. We're going to guesstimate here, and we're gonna say we want it right there and right there. Okay, again, I'm gonna cut it. I'm just gonna line it up with our little mark. Cut, scooch, flip it back over right side up, like so. And then we're going to go over the back. Like so. I'm going to throw the glue stick. We're going to line this up to give it a border on each side. A more even border on each side. More straight, even border on each side. There we go. Alright. Push that down. And now we have our second little pocket letter envelope. Not pocket letter. Pocket letter is something different. So now we're going to go with this one. And I like this for that. I'm going to mark here again. We're just going to mark just a little bit. Scooch. Cut on our line. Line our line up and then cut on our line. Voila. I'm going to show you guys what I had got an idea for when I was looking at that paper. Okay. All right. There's that. And then back piece here. Go like so. Again, we're going to mark it, and we're going to mark it here. I'm going to cut here, find our mark. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Just like so. Okay. Let's see, what's our video at? 19 minutes? Not too bad. Okay. Alright. And so I'm only going to decorate one And then that way you guys will have the general gist of how to make a loaded pocket. Okay, so there we go. So to recap, we have this one with this pocket here. Again, we're gonna glue it down. Like I said, I'm only going to decorate one. That way you guys can see. But I wanted to do 3 different ones like this just to show you like how to construct it, if you will, because it really just depends on what you're feeling at that time. Like what is your temperament at that point in time. So I'm gonna go ahead and set these aside. I'm gonna play with this one here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my ink because I want to glue this pocket down so I can start playing with it. So we're going to grab our ink here. And I'm just going to ink around the edges here because I can ink around the rest of it after it's glued. This part is a little bit more difficult to do once it's glued down. Okay. I think I need more ink. My ink is getting dry, I believe. Okay. And I said I was only going to do that one part, but I'm going to do all of it. And also, too, you could get real creative and you can do border punches on your pockets here. I'll flip this over and do the whole side on this side. See, you could also do like craft paper, colored cardstock. You could actually do like heavy scrapbooking paper if you wanted to do that. I've also done these with bags, like they're in the crafty world typically called like bag flips. So it really just depends on what you want to do. So there's that. Okay, now I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac to create my pocket because it's a very secure glue, and I have my inky stuff. It's shedding. Alright, so I'm just going to put a bead of glue on the bottom here. And I'm going to put a bead of glue on the bottom here. If it wants to come out of the container. There we go. Okay. And I've closed my Fabri-Tac because, well, it likes to explode. So we're just going to push that down. Push that down. And now you have a pocket right there. See? Now we're going to flip it over and we'll play at the back. So what I had in mind for this one, let's see. How do I want to do this? I think what I want to do, so I'm kind of thinking while I'm doing this. So this is a kind of a process video as well as a tutorial. My apologies. I'm going to fold this in half. Such accurate measurements here. Then I want to, let's see. I think I want to cut this in half. And by I mean I'm going to. So I'm going to take it to the edge here, cut it in half, and I have a tag punch. So I'm going to punch the edge of this here. And this is the back, mind you. So I'm just going to line this up so it's somewhat centered. So my tag is like in the middle. Okay. Set that aside. Get rid of that. I'm going to cut off my little edges over here. thunk, and thunk. Okay. Now I have this cool little flip here, but I'm gonna make this into a tuck spot. So you can tuck behind it. But I think I want around the corners here. I'm gonna take my little punchy punch. And I'm just gonna do a 1/2 inch. You can also do border punches on the corners, like little corner punches, decorative corner punches. Okay, so this is directional paper, so I want to make sure that it's going the right way. So I want to make this a pocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it like this, but I'm only going to put a bead of glue here and here on the back. So we're going to flip it over. We're going to put a bead of glue here and here. Okay, and again I'm using Fabri-Tac. Stay. And I'm just going to put this kind of in the corner down there and let that sit for a minute. We're going to go back to the front. Okay, so with this stuff you can create another pocket right here, and I don't know that I really want to do that just because I like the journaling here, because whoever receives this is going to be able to reuse this if they'd like, and they can journal it. They could put it inside of like a junk journal if they have a junk journal. So that's why I like this. So you can add stuff here like this. There's a pocket here. There's a flip here. There's a pocket here, and you can add more pockets to this. And if you have smaller things, you can add little pockets here. You can add little pockets here or here. Actually, I might add a little tuck right there. I do like that. I like the flip though. That was kind of cool. Oh, what I could do is put another little pocket right here to add one more. Okay, so I'm just going to take about a 1/2 inch, a quarter from each side off of this paper here. And if you don't cut straight or don't feel like you can cut straight, then you can use a trimmer. Okay, so you could also back this on top of a cardstock. Ooh, I might do that. So if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna cut just a smidge bit more. So I'm gonna cut here and cut here. I think I wanna cut this line off. I'm gonna cut this line off. Actually, I think I'm gonna cut all of this line off. Okay. Yep. All right, so set that aside. Grab a piece of cardstock of your choice. Kind of like this blue. It's like so very different. Maybe. I don't know. We'll go with it. All right, so basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this on this, and then I'm going to cut it out. Nope. All right, and I'm just going to put glue all over this. So I'm going to push this up and make a border around the edge here, like so. Okay. Then I'm going to cut that border out. Stop it. Okay. And okay, like that. And then same thing on this side here. Got that little border. Put my scrap paper, back in with my scrap paper, grab my pocket. Oh, and look at that. Okay. I'm going to ink the edges though, just because I think it might look a little funny with the such harsh edges with the rest of the pocket inked up. So I'm going to ink that real quick. And then we're going to put that down. And that's probably why my ink's dry, so I'll leave it open all the time. I need more ink. Okay, so we're going to put that just like that. And then you can start loading your pocket. And you can put anything you want in this pocket. You can put stickers, you can put doilies, you can put homemade embellishments, you can put cards. You can put whatever you want in this. And I am making this a pocket, so I'm only doing the two side edges and the bottom edge. So this will be an extra little tuck spot to add stuff. Okay, now this one's dry, and you could take your little embellishment and put it in there. I would put something like this on the front though, because it's a little big. I wouldn't use this one though, because this one's double-sided. But like this one's pretty flat. You can put it in there like that. Put this one even behind it, like so, or not. But you can add whatever your heart desires to your, see, little embellishment, to your pocket to make it pretty. And so you have yourself a cute little pocket letter, like so. And that's it. So that's it for this tutorial. I really hope that I explained this well, just to kind of like give you an idea how to like just generally create the loaded pocket. As far as what you put in it, that is really up to you and the design of your swap. So if you have a particular theme, then you would follow that theme. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and get this edited and loaded up, and hopefully it will help out, one, my swap partner, hi, and two, anyone else who's looking for a tutorial on how to create loaded pockets like these. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye guys.